It was a freezing winter evening on the outskirts of a small town. The wind howled through the desolate highway, carrying with it the sound of rustling leaves and distant thunder. A lone woman stumbled down the side of the road, her clothes torn, her face bruised, her arms trembling as she clutched her swollen belly. Her name was Maria, and she was 8 months pregnant. Tears streamed down her cheeks, mixing with the cold rain that poured mercilessly over her. Her husband, the man she thought would protect her forever, had just abandoned her, not just emotionally but physically. After an argument that turned violent, he threw her out of the car in the middle of nowhere and sped off, leaving her in the darkness, barefoot, bleeding and terrified. Her cries were swallowed by the storm. Each step felt heavier than the last, each breath shorter. She whispered softly to her unborn child, "Don't worry, baby, Mama's here. I'll get us help. I promise." Before we go deeper into this heart-wrenching story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Kindness Universe, because what happens next will restore your faith in humanity forever. The rain turned to ice as Maria reached a stretch of highway lit only by a single flickering streetlight. She could barely see ahead. Her legs gave way and she collapsed beside an old, rusted sign that read, "Route 16, 12 miles to Clearwater." Her voice cracked as she cried out for help, but no one answered. Cars passed by, their headlights blinding her for a moment before they disappeared into the night, leaving her in darkness once again. The pain in her stomach was unbearable now, sharp, searing, unrelenting. She realized the contractions had started. "Not now, please, not now," she sobbed, gripping her belly. "Someone, please." Just when she thought it was over, a faint rumble grew louder in the distance. Not thunder, engines, dozens of them. The sound grew stronger until a line of motorcycles emerged through the mist, their headlights cutting through the rain like a wall of light. Maria blinked, unsure if she was dreaming. The roar of the engines surrounded her as the first biker, a tall man with a gray beard and leather jacket, pulled over and rushed toward her. "Holy hell," he muttered, dropping to his knees beside her. Hey, ma'am, you okay?" Maria tried to speak, but only a weak whisper came out, "Please, my baby." He turned to the others and shouted, "Everyone off your bikes, now." Within seconds, more than 100 bikers surrounded her, forming a human wall against the storm. They removed their jackets, their gloves, their scarves, anything they could spare, and wrapped them around her to keep her warm. A woman from the group, her face fierce yet motherly, knelt beside Maria. "I'm a nurse," she said quickly. "Hang in there, sweetheart. We're gonna take care of you." The nurse checked her pulse, her temperature, and looked at the men around her. "She's going into labor. We don't have time to wait for an ambulance." The biker with the gray beard, whose name was Mac, nodded firmly. "Then we move, form a line. We're taking her to Clearwater." The men worked in perfect rhythm. One of them gently lifted Maria, wrapping her in a heavy leather coat. Another cleared a path for the convoy. The engines roared to life again, but this time they didn't sound wild. They sounded protective, purposeful, heroic. Through the storm and wind, the convoy of 100 bikers rode together, their headlights cutting through the darkness like angels on wheels. They surrounded a single black truck in the center, carrying Maria. Mac rode beside her window the entire way, glancing in to make sure she was conscious. "You hang in there, darlin'," he shouted over the roaring wind. "You ain't alone anymore." Maria could barely see through her tears. Why are you helping me?" Mac smiled faintly, his beard dripping with rain. "Because that's what we do. No one gets left behind. Not tonight." When they reached Clearwater, the hospital staff froze at the sight outside, a parking lot filled with bikers, soaked and shivering, standing in silence as Maria was rushed inside. Hours passed. The rain stopped and dawn began to break. The bikers waited, every single one of them leaning on their bikes, sipping coffee, praying under their breath. They had no idea who she was or what her story was. All they knew was that she needed help. Finally, the nurse came out, smiling through her tears. "She made it. The baby's safe." The bikers erupted in cheers. Some clapped, Some hugged, others simply looked at the sunrise and smiled quietly. Mac took off his jacket, now dry from the hospital's heat lamps, and walked inside to see her. Maria lay on the bed, pale but glowing, holding a tiny baby wrapped in a pink blanket. When she saw Mac, she whispered, You all saved us." He nodded. "Nah, sweetheart, you saved yourself. We just showed up when you needed family." Days later, Maria was released from the hospital. She had no home, no money, and nowhere to go. When Mac heard this, he called the group together. "Listen up, family," he said. "This woman's been through hell. Her husband left her to die. I say we show her what real love looks like." Within hours, the bikers raised money, thousands of dollars, to get Maria a small apartment, baby supplies, and a part-time job at a diner owned by one of their friends. They even took turns visiting her every week, making sure she and her baby never felt alone again. The story spread across the town, then the state, then the entire country. News stations covered it. Headlines read, "100 bikers save pregnant woman left for dead. A miracle on Route 16. Maria named her daughter Hope." Months later, she stood at a biker rally with Hope in her arms. She looked out at the sea of leather jackets and roaring engines. Her voice trembled as she spoke into the microphone. "I thought I lost everything that night, but God sent me angels, 100 of them on motorcycles. You didn't just save me, you gave my daughter a future." The crowd cheered, tears in their eyes. Mac stepped up beside her and said, "You're part of this family now. Once a biker's family, always a biker's family." Hope, barely a year old, reached out and grabbed Mac's beard, making everyone laugh. Maria smiled, a real smile, one she thought she'd never feel again. Before we end this powerful story, if you believe kindness can still change the world, like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Universe. Because every act of love matters, no matter how small. Years later, Maria would tell her daughter the story again and again, how 100 strangers became her heroes. And every time Hope asked, "Mama, were they angels?" Maria would smile softly and say, "No, baby, they were bikers, the kind of angels that roar."